I will take action against herbicide-resistant weeds. I will know my weeds, and I will stop them before they go to seed. I will do whatever it takes to give my crops the upper hand, and I will use multiple herbicide sites of action because every action counts. I will take action, this time for all time.
Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or for more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Good morning and welcome to Farm Factor on Ag Am in Kansas. I'm your host, Conrad Cabas. Kansas State University recently hosted Barbecue 101 in Olathe and Manhattan in May. These one-day workshops focused on teaching the basics of grilling and smoking for consumers of all ages and experience levels.
Hi, I'm Dr. Liz Boyle. I'm a meat science specialist and a professor at Kansas State University.
Dr. Boyle works primarily in extension to enhance the quality and safety of meat products and to provide scientific and technical assistance to meat processors and trade associations.
Today we talked about barbecue safety, and some of the important points with barbecue safety included avoiding cross-contamination, washing your hands, cooking meat to a degree of doneness so that the meat product would be safe, and storing foods appropriately to keep them out of the danger zone, which is from 40 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Obviously, washing your hands is a starting point for food safety because we want to make sure we're not introducing pathogens or picking up pathogens from food products and cross-contaminating them for other products. So after we handle a raw product, we always want to wash our hands after picking up trash, after touching unclean surfaces.
Cross-contamination is the transfer of harmful bacteria from one food to another. This may be directly, or through chopping board, utensils, hands, or other items in the kitchen. Cross-contamination occurs when handling raw meat, especially poultry meat, because it contains more liquid than other red meats.
We want to also make sure that we avoid cross-contamination so that we're not sharing a cutting board with meat products and with produce, so that we either have separate cutting boards or we use hot soapy water and a sanitizer in between using a cutting board for one product and using it for another product, because again, we want to avoid cross-contamination. We want to take the temperature, internal temperature of our meat products that we grill so that we can safely consume them without having concerns about pathogenic microorganisms surviving in the product. Most of our products aren't going to have pathogens associated with them, but there's always the potential for a pathogen to be present. So we want to cook our ground beef patties to 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Why do we want to use a meat thermometer? Because there's conditions associated further upstream with production of meat products that can influence the final color of the meat product. There's just so many different, the age of the animal prior to harvest, all of those factors influence the final color of the meat product. So there's a couple of conditions that some colleagues of mine identified about 20 years ago. One is called persistent pink, so that even if you cooked the meat to 170 degrees, it'll still look pink inside. There's another condition called premature browning, that if you cook the meat to 140 degrees, it looks brown and it looks done. So that's why we need to use a meat thermometer. It's so important to take the temperature, the internal temperature of that product. We also want to make sure we wash our produce. There have been almost nearly half of the foodborne illnesses that occur with people are due to consumption of produce that contains pathogens, which are organisms that cause disease. So we need to handle our produce properly. For example, lettuce needs to be washed under running water in our sink. If we have something like a cantaloupe or a melon, we need to wash that in the sink with running water and use a scrub brush, because with things like cantaloupes, there's a lot of nooks and crannies, and we've had some outbreaks associated with Listeria monocytogenes on those products, which can be extremely lethal to young children, to elderly adults. So it's an organism we definitely want to prevent And we can do that by washing our produce appropriately, storing it in the refrigerator, keeping hot foods hot, keeping cold foods cold.
Thank you for watching today's episode of our Barbecue and Meat Science. For more of Farm Factor, or if you want to view this program again, visit us on www.agaminkansas.com, or you can like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter. So have a good day with good luck.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers.